Okay, so here it is, the 390RR-S. Again, got about 10 hours on this bike now, so I wanted to talk a little bit about it. This is the first time that I got to actually take it out on the trails and some of the technical stuff that is the reason that I purchased the bike. Now, as far as being nimble, having the low flame out, the low RPM flame out, as you can see right here, I lug it down pretty good. Go through the technical stuff, and flame out was not an issue. This was one of the reasons I was really drawn to the 390 and that long stroke was I was really hoping it wasn't going to have the flame out problems that my 350 used to have all the time. The elevation on this is around 2,500. Oh, there's me getting on it a little bit. Man, this bike sounds good. And but back to elevation. When I first got the bike up here, I had to go through the start cycle, reset the stepper motor, and once I got off and started going on the trails, I did notice it had a slight bog at the middle of the RPM band, and I was a little concerned because I saw some of the older models had that problem, and I thought it got fixed on the newer ones, and that ended up going away after about 10 minutes. It never really seemed to come back again, but it definitely has the power that it needs. Now this bike, it does not have that top end power like the 350 had, or even like a 450 has for sure. This bike, it is all low end grunt and mid-range power. Very linear power band on this bike. That's the reason I got it. I wasn't looking for a race bike, and if you're looking for one, that's, in my opinion, these are all just my opinions, it's not really what this bike is for. It's great on technical, which is, I mean, for a 4-stroke, I've learned that 2 strokes are usually top dog when it comes to technical riding, and I don't expect to do the type of technical riding with this bike that I do with my 300s, but it fits the bill for, as you can see today, I just went out with my son and did some riding, and it fits the bill for doing technical riding, but still having the power to do the higher RPM, high-speed stuff on the fire roads, the things that my 300 just didn't really like going real high speeds. As you can see, I kind of play around, shooting up and down the hills here. It is a very nimble bike, more nimble than I thought it was going to be for a 4-stroke, and that really made me happy. But one thing I don't like is the seat height. This bike does definitely sit taller than my Beta 300 and even than my Sherco 300, and that makes it a little more difficult for some of the technical stuff, trying to dab your foot down. I was planning on running a set of my 300 tires on here, which is an IRC JX8 in the back and an M59, but to really get an honest feel of how the bike is going to perform, because it is a street legal bike, so I plan on riding it to some of these areas, I wanted to give it an honest chance on the Michelin Enduros, and I was very happy with them. I had them down to about 12 psi in the back, 15 psi in the front, and it had amazing tractorability, good traction for what I was riding out there. And honestly, I don't think I'm going to change them. I think I'm just going to leave the tires that are on there. I don't really plan on doing much of anything to this bike. I mean, I removed the charcoal canister, the green check valve on it, and the most important thing though is the turning on this bike. If you want to do any type of technical riding, you have to get that adjusted from the factory. Their full lock turning on this bike was really bad, and that made it difficult to ride some of the technical terrain and keep your balance at the same time. It needed the steering adjusters. Actually, I removed the nut on one of them, ran them in as far as I could go, and then had to do a little bit of modifying on the voltage regulator so I could get that just full lock-to-lock turn, and that was really it. And then I run the 13-tooth sprocket on it, and made it just an incredible trail bike. I had a lot of fun on this ride today with my son. We just kind of cruised around, did some mild technical stuff, but nothing really crazy. The suspension, I mean, I have everything set as soft as it'll go. Is it good? Is it bad? To be honest, these are all just my honest reviews and how I ride bikes, but I can't really tell a difference a lot of time on suspension. To be honest, it's I just like to go out and ride them, and it was a joy to ride. It was a lot of fun. It felt good on the trails. It felt good on the rocks, and you know, that's pretty much it. Kind of a short little video, but I just wanted you guys to hear my honest opinion, because a lot of the reviews I found were basically demo days and not really ownership reviews. So that's kind of what I was going for on this one, was as I've owned the bike, some of the issues that I've run into, some of the things I love about it, and some of the things I don't really like a whole lot about it. And maybe that'll help some people in the future in making their decision.